Pod Apostle. Help us build the kingdom. Like, share, and subscribe.
I find this a curious story. Why would Jesus have Peter go through that process to get the temple tax? It's also interesting, I think about, did Jesus have that fish and the coin created in that moment? Was it his providence that how did that, what's going on there? So just curious. But I think ultimately it is God provides. I really do think that's what it comes back to. Essentially telling Peter not to worry about the money. Because let me tell you, Peter clearly worried about things, and one of them, this is after his name is changed, by the way. This is chapter 17. His name was changed in chapter 16, and Jesus still calls him Simon, right? Simon. And that, I think, goes back to the idea that Peter was a title as much as it was a name, Rock, and so this a lot of little things happening in that story. Another, element of the story is the temple belongs to Jesus. He didn't have to pay the tax. It's his. And that's kind of the point he's making. Who do kings take their taxes from? But he says, so as to not give offense, to not cause scandal. I'm going to pay this temple tax, but watch how I provide. And St. Clare had a love of poverty. That's what as I was reading the collect, the first prayer of the Mass there, out loud, I was thinking about, she didn't love destitution. She didn't love, filth and starvation. That's not the poverty that she loved. What poverty did she love? Detachment from the passing things. She said, you become what you love. Think about that. What do we focus our life and our energy on acquiring? And she wanted a life where her possession was Christ. Her possession was the love of God. And she did not want to be distracted by the things of the world. Therefore, she loved poverty. She didn't want to be attached to. And her and St. Francis and their lives as examples of detachment from the passing things of the world and this total love of God, great examples. And I read a few quotes this morning from St. Clare, and the one that I shared with you just a moment ago, you become what you love, is the one that kind of struck me. And may we not love the passing things of the world, but may we love God, whose image and likeness we were made in, and really and truly we are to become. I've been reading another book, and this idea of Christ's presence in us, the Holy Eucharist, right? But the grace of God, the abiding grace of God's presence in us. May we become what we were created to be and not become attached to the passing things of the world. St. Clare, pray for us.